Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me.
There are thousands of small businesses out there that are just struggling to take their company to the next level. I'm Michelle Delamor, founder of Sonic God Studios and the creator of 60-Day Hustle. 60-Day Hustle is an experimental accelerator that's challenging real entrepreneurs in the early stages of their companies to condense 2 years of business development in just 60 days. Oh my God, I'm gonna need some help. Rudy!
What's up?
Hey, stand up, guy, boom, 10 toes.
I'm going to challenge these entrepreneurs to master the fundamentals of business. Ready? Let's go.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We're going to push them. We're going to challenge them. It won't be easy.
We're voting someone off?
That was bullshit.
But it's make or break for their business and potentially their future.
Let the hustle begin.
Ruben, where are you from?
I'm Dominican.
Oh, you're Dominican. I felt that. I was like either Puerto Rican or Dominican.
No, Dominican, born and raised. I live in
That's
Miami.
awesome. You live in Miami?
Yes.
I'm born and raised in Miami. Mami de Colombia, papi de Argentina, grew up in Miami, you know, the whole thing.
That's a great mixture. You have great food.
Yeah, we do have, you guys have good food too, though.
Yes, no, the best. I have to defend my country.
You're like, absolutely. Los plátanos are a bomb.
People always ask me, what is your favorite food? I have to place Dominican always first.
It's good. It's yummy.
You know what's also good? Your show.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Did you see the trailer?
I saw a trailer and I saw 3 episodes. I couldn't.
Let's go.
Because I was out of town, but it's so many questions. You know why? Because recently I was talking about something like that. With a group of friends about social media. I want to start with social media because I feel in the past, I don't know, I would say social media is something bigger that, I don't know, 10 years ago. Like from 10 years from now, we have like these influencers, we have these showing off lifestyles. And many people that I have known, even people with careers and you know, like they look to have everything. In conversation, I don't know, even me, like we feel that we need to compare with what we see in social media. And in your show, it's like we see these people having success, traveling, doing awesome things, taking pictures with famous people and being in the environment that most people wanna be. Yeah. But they don't see what's behind all this. And even that can be fake. We have seen it. I know people that they just do that to create likes, to create content.
I completely agree.
Well, what you show is it's like what is behind all this. This is the real behind all this.
Yes.
Even you have one of my favorite, Les Brown, that
we love
Les Brown. And Les Brown, like he has a couple quotes that have inspired me directly, and this is one of the subjects that I wanna touch on. You have Rudy. I didn't know who was Rudy, but then I went to his profile on social media, and I like his energy. Let's start with that. Let's start with what is your perception of nowadays social media, and why creating a show like this?
Yeah. Oh my God. I love that you're starting with this. Well, first of all, you're absolutely right. It's so crazy how we've gotten to this world where everybody is showing off and it's just like the sizzle reel of your life. But the reality is what we're talking about of creating real success for entrepreneurs that actually have a dream. Like it takes a lot of work, and it's not the glamorous side of it. That's what gets you to the top. Like those things are great to showcase, but we really wanted to create a show that really kind of unveiled what really happens and what's required to get to the next level that can inspire people. I think you can be inspired by the hard work. You can be inspired by the so-called failures that then turn into lessons, that then turn into leaps because you've just learned from that. And so that's really what we wanted to create. You mentioned people like Rudy, who's the host of our show. And one of the things that we were so excited about is if you go on social media, you don't really fully get to know Rudy. You see the flashy stuff, you see the planes, you see the this, the that. But Rudy, he was fantastic and he works his butt off. And it was a challenge for him too. 60 days. Can we get these entrepreneurs to the next level? Everyone worked so hard. So for us, it was really important to create a show that, yes, is entertaining, of course, but that people could relate to and that could be inspired by, and that they could also take these lessons and use them in their own life. So the show it's kind of like entertainment meets a little bit of like a masterclass mixed in there, you know? You'll see some like teachable moments. For example, you saw 3 episodes, so you saw, and these are the moments where you really lean in. We partnered with a partner of ours, Teachable. They're a platform that creates courses, and they're all about like sharing knowledge. So it was very much like aligned in that way. So you see them just come up in those moments where you really can lean in and learn and take those lessons for yourself to grow. So yeah, it's been the most incredible journey to bring this show to life. We're very, very proud of it.
My business failing is something my wife asks me a lot. It's something we have late nights talking about.
I want to live a life where I don't have to worry if I can pay next month's rent.
I'm 27 now, and here I am living with my parents, spending all day working on a business that's, not bringing me any money, but I love it.
People think you don't go through things. People think you don't cry. People think everything is peaches and cream, and they want to try it too. And then when they try it, they realize like, oh, this ain't for me. I can't do this.
There's one part that they have to create like a video of what are you selling. And for me, it's really impressive when a lot of feedback these people had that I don't know what you're selling. You have this idea of of creating a company, but I don't know what are you selling. And this is another thing about social media. In the past 5 years, it's when everyone is an entrepreneurship. Like everyone wants to create their own company. And I think that's pretty cool because it takes a lot. And in my personal opinion, when someone asks me for advice, I'm a writer. I do interviews. I'm a film critic. And I always tell people, you have to keep writing, even you have one person reading it.
Yes.
Because most of the people, they lost faith of what they're doing when for 6 months they only have, 10 likes.
Yeah.
But you show something different, at least in the 3 episodes that I saw. And my question is, how do you divide it? Because I'm sure you have a script, but what was the point of dividing every episode in a lesson? I love that because every episode is like a lesson for them. And of course, when you have a way of doing things and someone come to challenge that way, because I have more experience than you and I know how that's going to work, it pinch a lot of buttons. It pinch a lot of buttons. And that's what I like to. So every episode is a lesson. So why creating it like this?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think one of the big things was it's kind of a social experiment, right? We're taking 12 entrepreneurs and it's a 60-day challenge to see really who has what it takes in this particular experiment because, there's everyone has their own path. Everyone that came on the show, I'm sure, is going to be successful in their own way. But we created this in a way that we could give dedicated time to each fundamental lesson in business that we knew would help them get to the next level. That is vital to getting them to the next level. So we had things like, pitching, how to pitch yourself. That's so huge. We had, branding and storytelling and really getting your content out to an audience, marketing, sales, which so many people have resistance around sales. Even I, by the way, I thought to myself, like, I'm not a person that sells, like, I'm not like a salesperson. It's not about that. If you have a dream, if you have a passion, if you have something that you want to get out in the world, like, you are the number one salesperson of it. So it's all these incredible fundamental lessons that we wanted to break out into almost like, into episodes. That's what they are. It's episodes that the audience can really learn from and have that moment to really understand that fully. And there's just so much, honestly, there's so much that goes into them and it's like very exciting and high stakes and all these different things happen that it was really cool to see how that happens in the different areas of the business.
Why 60 days? Why only 60 days? Because usually when you buy something or you start doing something, it's 90 days. Why 60 days? Why choosing 2 months as a period of trial? Because an opposite of shows that we have seen, these people come to the show like Shark Tanks with already a company.
Yes.
They come already with a company, with sales, with, like a whole company. These people wants to create a company. They think they have something. But at the end, it's like going to a restaurant, a Michelin restaurant, when you think, okay, what I eat at home is nothing. But these people they think they have a company, but they don't have anything. Like, it's like from ground zero, you have a great idea and you have to start from like a blank canvas. And why choosing 60 days? Do you think it's going to be any difference in 60 days?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, look, we were looking at what's the shortest amount of time that we could actually make a difference. Because the idea is you want to put yourself in a pressure cooker environment. It's so funny because these entrepreneurs grew so much. Some of them made more money in that 60-day period than they ever had, which was like incredible, for their business. So to see those type of things happen, but the reason why that happened was because they were up against the clock. If they felt like they had too much time, you kind of get comfortable with it. This was like every second counts and you feel that. And I'm like, can you imagine what our own businesses, anyone's business would look like if you actually acted like you were on a TV show like this, 60-Day Hustle, on this competition, because these people were defying things that they thought were even possible for themselves, and it's just because they were like, all right, I have limited time, let's do this. But we also knew 60 days was enough time that if they followed the processes, they could see a significant increase in their company's growth.
But thinking about those 60 days and everything, a lot of buttons are pushed, even when you have your own company. Yes, and I think that's the biggest difference. And what I love, it's when it's like with Les Brown, you have this person who probably doesn't have a lot of experiences selling by himself, but he has taught millions of people how to sell, and it becomes success. And you are in a platform where basically is this, you're Amazon. And how do you feel? Because for me, what I'm excited about, what people's gonna watch in your show, it's they're gonna learn. They're gonna probably learn things that you thought they'd have a know-how, but now this show probably is gonna break that know-how.
Yeah.
And are you ready probably to have I don't know, a lot of feedback, a lot of this is not the way it works, these people, whatever, because you're gonna be exposed now. This is gonna be exposure in Amazon. This is not like
that's a big deal.
Like anything. Exactly. Are you ready? Are you ready for what's coming? Because I'm sure it's gonna come something.
Oh, 100%. I'm so ready for it. I think, first of all, I love this question. I'm so ready for it because one of the things that we're doing with the show is we're showing what this experiment looks like and what we have seen work, and some fundamental things. We brought in basically like some of the top founders of different, brands. Like we had the founder of Fabletics, founder of FabFitFun, the founder of Science, which is the incubator that created Dollar Shave Club, Liquid Death, like all these brands. So they come with their own experience, right? And so the idea is not to say this is the only way. The idea is to say, look at all the experience that these industry Goliaths have had, and let's actually put some of that to the test over 60 days and see how much you can grow. So I don't challenge anyone in their way of doing things because there's so many paths to get to the same destination. I just know that this is a really great path that worked for our contestants and also is a great fundamental kind of pathway that people can follow as well. So, it's very real. It's very raw. It's very, it's something that anyone can follow and learn from. And yeah, to your question, I'm sure. I mean, gosh, whenever you do anything on a mass scale, people are always going to have things to say. I welcome it. I love the conversation. Let's chat about it. Tell me your way of doing things. Maybe it's something that ends up getting featured in another season, right? Let's have the conversation because it looks different for everyone. But yeah, it was really, really cool to see how it came to life in this one.
You mentioned Fabletics, the clothing, and every year we see a new company with things that we normally use, but they become really, really famous. I remember I was using Nike shoes, and then these On shoes come up, Fabletics then come up. And every year we see new companies with things that we daily use. So what do you think is the biggest difference? Because Fabletics just sell you sport clothes, but it's not just that. They sell you cheap, good quality clothes, but you have you have to have a membership because there's a exclusive membership. So this is not a new idea. what do you think is the biggest difference between a person with an idea like Fabletics to compete with a market with Nike, I don't know, Alona is a new company, like those bigger brands?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things, right? It's like knowing your brand, knowing who you are, knowing what your unique strengths are, and leaning into that all the way. Even if it seems a little quirky, even if it seems a little different, it's part of what makes you stand out. I think the other thing too that a brand like Fabletics has done so fantastic at is understanding where attention is and then capitalizing on that in a way that makes everyone win, right? So like in Fabletics case, they partner with some of the most popular celebrities that people absolutely love. And so those celebrities already have fans. And
Very hard.
Fabletics has an incredible product to pair with those celebrities. And so it's really looking at where can I put my product that also, already has an engaged audience that can be a part of my community. There's different ways to do that, but sometimes it's easier to and more effective, I will say, because it's not even about easy or not. Sometimes it's most effective to actually kind of have as your main plan getting your product in the places that already have audiences versus trying to start an audience from scratch. And so Fabletics, in their case, they combined everything together, right? Fantastic product, and then having incredible celebrities that already have audiences to help amplify that. And then they ran from there. So I think that's a huge thing right now. It's very much like an attention, currency is attention now, essentially, right? And so the idea is, where can you be most authentic with people that really will like resonate with who you are as a person, as a brand, and how can you get out in front of as many people as possible? So again, pairing with amazing celebrities, influencers, all of that good stuff. Entertainment is a huge way to get your brand in front of audiences as well. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a big part of separating yourself.
We have a Latino background. So the know-how that we know, because I'm sure you have in your family someone who has a business. And
Yeah.
I have people with businesses.
Yes.
And I'm sure if you show them this show, they're going to be triggered by many.
Were you triggered? Were you triggered watching this?
But the thing is, I don't have a company. I have my website. I have an ideas. I work in my ideas, and my business, is different than I'm not selling anything. I'm selling my ideas, of course, but I'm not selling anything per se like you can have. Well, what I'm coming from is, if you grab a Dominican who just moved to New York and want to open a bodega, and you start selling that you have to make a video, that you have to go online, that you have to create your Instagram, it's going to be triggered. But eventually, like we mentioned at the beginning with social media, this old mentality, they have to adapt. It's about adaptation. And what you show also in your show, it's about that you need to be adapted to your customers and what we're selling now. Because probably we are in 2024. What we're selling in 2024 won't be the same when you start making more money in 2026. So you have to change, you have to shift, you have to adapt to whatever. And something that you show in one of this one guy who is rejecting ideas, rejecting new ideas. And how do you deal with that? How do you deal with going with the wave? Because you have to be on the wave. Because now we have OnlyFans, we have so many Patreon, you have so many things online, and the market is changing. So in 2 years, probably we're gonna have another social media, and you have to adapt to that. How do you deal with an old mentality and this new mentality?
Yeah, I think like the thing that is really interesting, and when we think about like our Latin parents and all of that stuff, there's something that I think is so fundamental and powerful about their way of thinking, which is hard work ethic. It's something that I grew up, I was thinking about this with my sister the other day, that we would wake up sometimes at like 3 in the morning.
Exactly, that's my point.
Like
people want to wake up at 8 and then open the
it's
computer and whatever. My mom
but like
told me I had to be up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, no, I mean, like we will wake up, my sister and I, we remember, like we would wake up so early, and like my parents hadn't even gone to sleep yet. My parents had a company together. My dad was an artist and my mom managed him. And They traveled all over, and I would see them up at night working like so late, and I would watch them. And it's interesting because I think it's so ingrained in me, like that work ethic. So there's something so special and powerful about that way of thinking. And then if you combine that with working smart as well and understanding the changing landscape, like, oh my gosh, like you're unstoppable. That work ethic with being able to really understand how to get in front of audiences, how to leverage social media, be authentic. We're not living in an era where people just want to see the jets. Like people actually want to see the real story. Like, what does it take? Like, it's okay if like sometimes you're crying because it's so freaking intense, but you get it together and you keep going the next day. Like it's it's the human story that we all connect to. And so being able to share that story online and having people follow that journey, I think is one of the most powerful kind of vehicles to growth that we have with social media and being able to leverage that. So and then utilizing it to blow up your brand in so many ways and connect and create amazing partnerships with influencers and all sorts of things. So, I mean, the way that we're tackling it in terms of, mentalities for anyone is we've tried to make it as simple as possible for anyone at any stage to be able to follow along with some of the things that we've taught. So in the actual show, you have all these lessons and the contestants go through crazy growth during the show. But what we actually did is we created a course where the mentors that were guiding the contestants, we created a course with them, and it is incredible. Like the audience will be able to go through that and take those lessons. And in celebration of the show, we're actually giving it away for free. So people could literally actually take that as a resource and grow themselves and go through that 60-day journey as well. So, we try to make it as like practical and tactical as possible.
Now let's talk about what I really like about what is behind the camera, the process of shooting, creating. You're the boss, but you have to be on top of everything. Like being the boss is not that easy as people think of. It's earned that you have to earn. Create a show like this, and not just create a show like this. Anyone can create a show like this. It's the quality of the show, and that the show people watch it and give you feedback. And that's my question. Like, how hard was for you to create a show like this? Because everything starts with an idea, but then you have to be on top of producing. You have to be on top of the script. You have to be on top of the people, be on time. That you have to be on top of everything. And in an industry like we have, where we don't see as many shows like this created from zero, from women and Latinas, and with these ideas of creating a different energy. How challenging it's been for you as a creative, because you are a creative person. I've seen your resume, and but every time that you come with an idea, and mostly on a show like this, how challenging is it for you to be in this mixture of being Latina, being in LA, being a minority, and trying to sell an idea like this to Amazon? And I'm asking this because, like you, there's so many, not just Latinas, all over the world. And for me, it's really impressive what you have done. But
thank you so much.
You're welcome. But for me, I need you to speak to this 17 years old girl who finished high school and don't know what to do, or to this 45 years old woman who suddenly discovered that she want to do TV. Like, I have met so many people. I travel to festivals and I see a 51 years old woman with her first movie. And I said, this is freaking awesome. But there's so many people in the middle that they are afraid, they don't know what to do, they don't know how to start. And I want Michelle say something to ignite this spark.
Yeah. I think the first thing I'll say is, if there is a dream in your heart, if you feel this spark, this joy in your heart around something, that is not to be taken lightly. That likely means it's a part of your purpose and it's something that you were called to do. And it's your choice to take that on or not. But if it came into your heart and if it came into your mind, 1000%, it is more than possible. It's already done. It's now, are you going to take the action? Are you going to be the person to actually take that action? Because it's possible. And why not you, right? Like, why not you? And that's the way I think about it. I think for me, I have always looked at how can I create the most amount of impact? How can I do something super huge that is really going to impact the world, inspire people, do something amazing? And so we had this big dream. I'm definitely not doing this alone by any means. You know, I've had a big dream to utilize entertainment as a vehicle for good to inspire people. And I was like, how do we do this in the biggest way possible? So we built this entertainment studio. I built it alongside my husband and one of our best friends as well, who we all come from different paths in entertainment. And it's been the ride of my life to build it. And I will say, like, there's so many moments of moving through the unknown. I cannot tell you what an act of faith building this studio has been. The whole thing has been an act of faith. In our entire company, we have like a mantra, and it's we make miracles happen. Because when it looked like it wasn't going to happen, it always ends up happening. And we just are always at the edge. Like, we would have stopped a long time ago if we would have just believed what others thought was possible. But we were like, no. Like, I know we can make this particular thing happen, even when it looked like it couldn't. And so it's about when others cannot see the thing that you believe is possible, it doesn't mean they don't believe in you. It just means it's your vision to bring to life 100%. And so it's just going with it. Even if your legs are trembling a little bit, it's like, no, like, we got this, just jump. Let's figure this out. Let's do it. And there's always a way on the other side, whether if it ends up being a huge lesson that then catapults you into everything that you're supposed to be, or if it ends up being that next thing that just triggers the growth that you needed right then and there. So yeah, the whole thing, even bringing 60-day hustle to life, you know, it was a concept. And then for us as a company, what we've built, it's an end-to-end studio. So we do the entire thing. It's, you know, we come up with the concepts, we produce the show, we bring on brand partners in all of our shows that are very much authentic to the story, that are aligned with what we do. So there's a lot of people involved in bringing this whole thing together. Producing the show in and of itself is a huge thing. And then you have the cast and all of that. And then, of course, working with distributors and getting it out into the world. So there's so many moving parts. And yes, like you said, you know, I run the company, I'm the CEO of the company. But I have an incredible team. So all I will say is it's not about like where you have been or what your resume is. It's like, if the dream is in your heart and you're willing to put the work in, even if you're not exactly sure how to make it happen, like, it's worth taking that leap of faith. For me, the whole thing is about faith. I swear. I'm like always praying in my head. I'm like, listen, I know this looks like a really big deal and it's crazy, but I know it's possible. And I'm always like, God, I know you got me. And then on the other side, we make miracles happen. Like, every single time we make miracles happen. And now here we are. You know, 60-Day Hustle is the first show coming out of the studio of many shows that are lined up behind it. So there's a lot of momentum, a lot of joy, and it all starts with a dream and that resilience and that grit and the determination to figure it out no matter what comes your way.
Let's close with a purpose.
Yes.
So my last question is, what do you expect the people take away from your show? What do you expect the people squeeze the most of what you're creating?
Yeah. Well, you know, there's so much to take away. I think, first of all, people will be so entertained by the show. The cast is phenomenal. They're incredible entrepreneurs. It's so much fun. We really put them through it with these 60 days. It was wild. So you definitely are going to be entertained. But I think something that's really cool is that the audience will learn from it. Whatever journey they're on, whether if they're actually entrepreneurs or they work at a company and they have an entrepreneurial mindset and they are on a pursuit of greatness, there are lessons for everyone there. You know, so I think people are going to take away inspiration to take whatever their dream is to the next level, with hopefully some very, very tactical approaches that they can put into practice immediately after.
Michelle, congratulations.
Thank you, Ruben.
And you have the coolest last name too.
Delamor, of love. Yes. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. I only watched 3 episodes and I think it's really inspiring. It's super cool. The energy is different. It's a 45 minutes episode, but you don't feel it because you're getting to the character, and then you're gonna start choosing your favorites, and then you're gonna start crying when your favorite probably leaves. It's like watching Game of Thrones.
That's so cool. I love it. I love it.
But
yeah,
thank you for
I'm excited for everyone to watch it on Amazon Prime and just like literally tag us, tag 60 Day Hustle, like post stuff. We'll be sharing it. I'm going to be sharing with everyone. Like, I cannot wait. And I'm so grateful that you've watched it, that you had me on, that you love the show. And yeah, you're amazing, Ruben. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.
You too. Bye.
There's no sitting back. There's no chilling out. There's no relaxing. Every day, every second counts.
I never did no crazy shit like this.
You disagree?
1000%.
Oh my God. That's a mistake.
But if they succeed,
This cake is good as shit.
You gotta try this.
their business will change forever.
You are a winner. Thank you.
And we're gonna do it all in only 60 days. The winner of 60 Day Hustle is